All right, roll the Wonder. We're here today, Johnny Thompson from our Callaway Performance Trailer. You guys know Akshay, Bhatia. We're gonna talk about one of the most interesting things that I get to see on tour, which is these two working things out. Today we're gonna talk about driver, getting Akshay dialed into the Elyte driver. It's gonna be interesting. Here we go. All right, boys. So you guys have a long history of working together since Akshay came on staff. So walk me through kind of your history for driver specifically with Akshay.
Yeah, well, I mean, the good part about Akshay is he's like a little human robot. He swings the golf club very consistently, so it makes it easy in a sense that you're not chasing your tail with it with the golf swing.
Right.
It's just us to make sure we're designing things that fit his game and then setting him up the way that he needs so that he can be his best.
So he's always been, and Akshay, I'm gonna direct this towards you, but you have like a certain look that you're like. So you were in the Rogue Max LS, I think, for a long time, and you kind of like the upright look of that driver and how the start lines of it. So like when you look at something like Triple Diamond in the new Elyte head, like what do you see? What are you picking out that you like about it so far?
I mean, face angle is important to me. When I put a Triple Diamond down, like obviously the look of the cleanness is important to me. Smaller head, I've always liked a smaller head. I've just, struggled with like consistency of shot pattern. And when I played, some of the older Triple Diamonds, like I played great with them. Sound's a big thing to me. Obviously, like optimizing spin rate, and for me, I hit so many different golf shots with the driver specifically that I need to know under pressure, like I can hit, my low one, I can hit a draw,
Right.
and then I can just hit my normal one. Then if I need to hit a high stock one that's like got to cover a bunker, then having all those options in a driver and knowing it's going to do what I know it should do, even if I miss it, is important.
Obviously, I'm there a lot with you guys when you guys are going through all your testing, but start lines and finish lines are always a big deal, right? So as you guys are kind of investigating this a little bit more, are you seeing a little bit more consistency in that start line and in the finish?
Yeah, so we're
so far, I guess.
We struggled in a sense in getting the Triple Diamonds to work in the past. For him, it had more of a left start, left miss, and so if he sees that, he's going to start swinging harder to the right, and
Which
it's
is going to make it further.
and then Chase is going to get mad at us
Right.
because now we got paths going 8, 9, 10 to the right. So we don't want that. Now with this Elyte, we've spent some time with this Triple Diamond, and what we've noticed is his current delivery, he can swing, 4 or 5 right, the ball starting where he wants to, which is basically in front of him to maybe slightly right, falling slightly to the left,
Okay.
and we don't have that kind of left miss. Which has helped a ton, because now if he starts to get that kind of confidence, he can start to ramp up speed. He's doing a lot of work this off season on speed.
Yeah, trying
I
to
need
get that Xander level.
We want something in his hands that he feels very confident that he can absolutely rip at,
Okay.
and it's going to start where he wants it to and then curve the way he wants it to. And we've been off to a really good start here.
Cool. So let's have you hit a few.
All right.
And JT, I'm just going to ask you to kind of, we're on quad here. I'm just going to ask you to kind of look at the numbers a little bit, and obviously how it's flying. Just kind of pick out some of the things that you see that are a little bit different than before.
Sure.
There it is. So one of the things that you talked a lot about, JT, was as far as path and start lines and all that stuff. Like what we're sort of learning about this in early days with Elyte is compared to other Triple Diamond heads, which for a right-handed player would have more of a right bias. This actually is moving a little bit closer to the center than in the past. Wouldn't you
Correct.
agree?
Yeah.
So in this case with Akshay, that's all playing into his benefit now.
Correct.
For this head. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So I mean, we're talking 176. I mean, it launched at 11 at 2,700 spin. So like that's for tour golf, that's pretty cushy.
With all the different shots that he told you he hits, from low to stock fade to the high draw, he needs to have a solid range of spin. He can't get too low, because when he goes to hit the high forearm send,
Right.
You can't have that thing plummeting down to 18, 1900 cycles of spin. We want that like 22,
Right.
22-ish. Stock ball, 26,
26.
20, 25, 26. You can't have one spinning in a place that gets a little dangerous. Like he can't have the cut getting up to 3,000.
Right, 'cause the ball's out of your hand, right?
Yeah, the elements start to take over, and it's
Okay.
out of his hands. Correct. So,
Okay, so let's hit. I'm gonna have you hit 3. I'm gonna have you hit 3 shots. I'm gonna have you hit a stock one.
All right.
I want you to hit a big cut, then I want you to hit that little knee-high fastball
Yeah.
he's talking about. My word. So what, as far as like RPM variance, you're trying to keep him, like, say for argument's sake, 2100 to 2800. Is that kind of like across the spectrum of shots?
Yeah.
Is that a kind of a healthy?
Yeah, I'd say
Okay.
that's pretty healthy. Yeah.
Okay. So let's hit.
You want the draw one, or do you
Yeah, let's
want?
hit that draw one. I just
Okay.
want to see. I'm curious to see what the spin does on it.
Yeah, and I think like Johnny's put a lot of work into me, because for me, like, I'm probably one of the only guys that swing it 7 to 9 right sometimes, especially when I get going in tournaments. I swing it further and further right, so it's definitely hard to like find a club that does everything you
Right.
want.
Yeah. It's got to
And
be versatile.
Yep.
so far, this has been,
Good money.
yeah. So we'll go for this. Is what we call forearm send. I just aim a little left, close everything up, try and slow rotation down.
There it is.
Yeah. Slight bottom, but still,
Yep,
I'm just trying to get the
still
curve.
Fine. Which is more, I mean, as far as a draw is concerned, that's about as much as I ever see you draw. Usually it's straight and falling.
Yeah, and that was
left.
still, I hit that pretty far off the bottom. It was still 2,800, so
Let's get that little stinger.
low
We'll
one?
Get you out of here.
this is a good shot to have. Any pressure. So that one's good.
That's money.
2,000,
21.
176,
Where did that launch at?
4.6, yeah.
So what do we learn here in videos like this? Like, this is the cool thing about working, especially when I can get somebody like JT on here, when you have a direct, rep and player relationship, and this applies to the people at home. Like, all this stuff matters, even for the folks at home. Obviously, he's on the PGA Tour, but really understanding your equipment and what you need versus what you want are two different things. So he's obviously been playing some elite golf over the last couple of years. He knows exactly what he needs with the help of JT. Really interesting stuff, but if you have any more questions on elite drivers, Akshay Bhatia's bag, even Johnny Thompson, if you want to know a little bit more about him, go to the World of Wonder website, CallawayGolf.com. That's JT who's off camera. Akshay, Wunder from the tee. We're out of here.
See ya.